welcome to another episode of Garden Stable with Rose, and I am Rose. So today it is Thursday, July 6th, and I am in the front yard to do a front yard garden tour. It's overcast today. It's supposed to rain, which is good. It's been very hot and very dry here, so it's cooled off a little bit. So this is the perfect day to do this. Let's start over here with my little rock garden. My sedum is doing well. Sedum, and I put some hens and chicks in here, and most of those have survived. It looks like hopefully they'll multiply. This is all spreading, so each year it seems to be getting bigger, the mass, which is good. I wanted to cover up this whole area. It's my goal. So, and I'm not going to add any more plants. I'm going to let it do its thing. So let's walk up the sidewalk here. Surprisingly, these little pots are still going strong. Like I said, it's been very hot here. Yesterday it was over 90 degrees. It's just been hot and dry, and so pots dry out quickly, and these are small pots, these little ones here. But they're still going strong. The geraniums have been blooming since early spring. I mean, I can't believe the tenacity of those things. And of course, the petunias just take off. They take over whatever you put them in. Even the violas are still going. I mean, they're looking a little tattered, but they're still blooming, and that is a cool weather flower. And again, it was one of the earliest blooming flowers. It's been going since early spring. And my carrots are still going. And there are Lysianthus mixed in there with the carrots. So they're nice and green. We'll see if I get any roots. As I said before, I have a really hard time with carrots, growing them. A lot of root vegetables, actually, I have a hard time with, besides, other than potatoes and radishes. So we'll see what happens. Okay, I moved the fountain, and in its place I put just one of my little arborvitae shrubs that I had in a pot on the other side. There was no particular reason I moved it, just something different. The bees have cleaned off the spirea. Now you can see they were pink when the flowers were all there and in bloom, and the bees swarmed these things for 2 weeks, at least 2 or 3 weeks, and they've pretty much cleaned them all off. So now they go to this, I don't know, it's kind of a brown. It's not bad. They're getting bigger. I've decided I'm not going to cut them back. I'm actually going to let them have this whole space. I usually cut them all the way down to the ground, basically, once or twice a year. And I think I cut them at the beginning before spring, late winter, and I don't think I'm going to cut them again. We'll see how big they ultimately get. My 2 topiaries are doing well still. Yeah, they're looking pretty good in spite of being in a pot with a bunch of annuals. The lavender, like I said, had bounced back, and it's looking green. I mean, it's obviously done flowering probably for the year, I'm assuming, but I'm going to overwinter that inside. The same with the cypress. This little cypress is gotten bigger, so I'm very happy about that. I had 2. The other one died. It was in the same spot, but for whatever reason it didn't like it. The petunias, of course, are in their full glory in these pots on the porch, and I'm turning around. This pot has more petunias and violas, and there's a little ball shrub in there. These are lilies. I came out and deadheaded all of these like 2 days ago, and so I took off all the open blooms, basically, and overnight all of these blooms, second set of blooms, opened up. So they are beautiful. They are tall and majestic, and I only needed to stake one little grouping of them, but otherwise they have very thick stems. They've stood up on their own. I'm not sure of the variety. It must have been a sack of them that I planted, and I just planted these last fall. And this is where I've relocated the fountain. I kind of like it because I can look out the window and see it. I mean, in the other spot it was nice because I could open the window and hear it. It's a little bit further away from the window, but I can look out and see it, and that's kind of nice. It's soothing. I find fountains to be quite soothing. The feverfew is looking good. Look at that. This is the only feverfew I have. that I guess came up this season, and I'm really liking it. But I still am not sure if that's a perennial or an annual, if it will reseed. So I've just kind of left it alone, because if it does reseed, I would like it to, because I would like more of that. It's good in cut flower bouquets, and it's pretty. It's white. So I did read that it repels insects, so it could be a problem with pollinators repelling them from the area, but we'll see. I only have a little bit of it so far. My apple trees, this is the only one that actually has apples of these three. Then they're green. I don't think it's like a Granny Smith. I think it's a sweet apple, probably. I can't remember the varieties of these, but it's a sign, but I can't quite make out what it says, and my hands are full because I have a cup of coffee in one hand. Oh my. This pot, these petunias and violas have taken over the little ball topiary that's in there. But, you know, all the annuals will come out at the end of the season, and the balls will stay, topiaries will stay. I cut back all of the yarrow, and it's regrowing. There's the pink. I like that dusty rose, so I'm not getting rid of it, even though it doesn't belong here. Apparently, I planted 2 echinaceas over here. These look like echinaceas. I guess they could be zinnias. I'm not sure. But apparently I planted 2. I don't even remember planting those. That's why I'm thinking it's echinacea, because that would come back each year. But it could be that I just planted 2 white zinnias, or they're kind of off-white, a creamy white over here. The carnations I cut back, they're growing, but no more flowers. More of the lilies here. And then down the drive, at the very edge, you see those are my chrysanthemums, my cutting chrysanthemums. They are getting bigger. They're growing slow, but they are getting bigger. So let's hope I have flowers by fall. These tall spiky things are getting ready to bloom. I do not know what they are. I assume they're some kind of monkey grass. I can't think of the other name of that stuff. Liriope, maybe? I don't particularly like that stuff. Matter of fact, I had a bunch of it in the front that I pulled out last year, and for some reason, some of it obviously has survived because it's coming back, even though I pulled a lot of it out. But there's a ton of it over here that I planted. I don't know what made me do that, but it's all white at least. At least it's all white. Oh, look at those lilies, and those don't really have a scent. I'm not sure what kind, but I don't think they have much of a scent. The Orlea is formed as seed heads, and I'm going to let that reseed itself because I really like that. Orlea and cut flower bouquets. I have no idea how this pink rose got in here. I am definitely sure I did not plant a pink rose in here. So it may, and it's here with the white drift rose. So I don't know if the white has reverted to a pink, or if I planted a mini rose that was labeled as white and it was mislabeled and turned out to be pink. No idea. Oh man, all the white Astilbe is almost finished, and it's turning kind of a brownish. I still like it though. I like the look of it, and I didn't think I really cared for Astilbe, but I do like that one, and I have some pink in the front, and I like that too. I did cut back the Helen von Stein. I cut that back, or I cut the blooms off of it because it was starting to lean over into the walkway. So I got rid of that. Now I do have some colorful anemones, the corms that I just popped over here because I had some extras and I was just sprinkling them around. I'm not going to dig those up. So they probably obviously won't be returning next year because it's too cold here to leave them in the ground. Another one, the drift roses. I deadheaded all the mini roses and drift roses, which was a job because they're so tiny. The blooms are so tiny. I wanted to take that one down. You see how most of it is in this little ball form. I wanted to take the rest down, but it had these buds all over it. As you can see, they're bloomed now. So I didn't want to cut those off. So Come later in the season, I will take that down to a manageable ball. I don't want it to take over. My understanding was it was supposed to stay small, like 2 feet, 2 to 3 feet. Okay, my moon rock hydrangea is actually blooming, or putting, not blooming, but putting on buds. I'm very excited. I love the moon rock hydrangeas, and like I said before, I think I have 4 or 5 of them sprinkled throughout. And then this 9 bark is beautiful. I love this stuff too. I just planted this last year, and it doesn't have obviously a lot of stems, but look how tall they are, the ones that are there. I mean, one is as tall as me. The window boxes are still a sad affair. I won't even go over there. I did put sedum. I believe I got sedum in both of them now, and the sedum is doing well, but anything else I put in there just dies. I even put petunias in there, which the petunias here seem to survive no matter what, and even those are dying. So I don't know what the problem is with those window boxes. This tree hydrangea is getting bigger and lush. I mean, I'm so proud of this thing because, like I said, big tree branch fell on it twice and broke it down to one little stem that was laying on the ground. And I propped that stem up, and I don't know that it'll flower this year, but it's big, and that's good. Here we have more of the chrysanthemums and a couple of boxwoods, 3 boxwoods. Those are a southern living kind. I can't, baby gem or little gem or something like that. And then more of the anemones, which are going out, fading out slowly but surely. And then there are some Lisianthus over here that have come up. Not too many of those. I'm not Lisianthus, ranunculus. There are some ranunculus over here that'll come up, but not many. They're beautiful. I have decided I'm going to try it again next year with the ranunculus, but I'm going to put them in my raised bed, covered raised bed in the back, and kind of protect them. And also then I can actually get the corms out. So that's my plan, because they are beautiful. And I cut a couple and put them in a vase, and they last for a long time, at least a week. And I cut them late when they were open, and they lasted for a week. So if you cut them when you're supposed to cut them before they're fully open, you probably get 2 weeks. I mean, it's amazing. So I just have now one little ball arborvitae in a pot over here, and it's doing well. It seems to like this shady area. And then here's another tree hydrangea. Forsythia is getting huge. I actually had to cut that back because it was extending well into the walkway. But yeah, that thing's getting huge. I'm glad I put it over here where it can just go wild, because it is a wild shrub for sure. There are 2 baby hostas here coming up, which may get moved at some point because they're too close to the walkway. But I don't think either they weren't coming up or they were extremely small when I put these stepping stones here. This was just extra snapdragons that I had. And then they bloomed, a lot of them. Quite pretty, a little pop of color over here. Some of them are done, but I'm not cutting them back or anything. I'm just leaving those. Here is a fern that's coming up that I planted. I believe that's some euphorbia there. And that's my Sun King Dahlia. There's another one of the ranunculus, and look how tall the stem is on that one. Amazing. And this one has a very tall stem too, this burgundy one. I think the soil, well, I know the soil is better here. There's a lot of compost over here, and the other area is just freshly dug dirt. So they are beautiful. Now, let's see. There's a peach tree in there, the one that got hit by a tree branch a couple of times and only had a limb on one side. It is doing well. It is balancing itself due to my judicious pruning. This is a red twig dogwood, which has gotten a lot bigger. I'm happy about that. This should be beautiful in the fall, winter, when it turns red. The stems turn red. I mean, in all the snow that we get, the stems will still be red. So that'll be just a nice pop of color. There's looks like St. John's wort in here, blooming. There's not much of it. I pulled most of it out, but there's a little patch there, and there's more than enough because that stuff spreads like crazy. There's a euphorbia behind it, I believe. Another euphorbia. I had some ladies' mantle that I planted in here too. I don't see any yet, but it's sprinkled in, and they were very small, so they're probably hidden by a lot of the other things now. Looks like more of that liriope over here. I got all the way over here. Let's see. Some kind of grass over there. I'm not sure what that is, but it's something I planted. It is not a weed. I checked. Let's see. I got buplurum throughout here. This like gold little flowers you see. You'll see a lot of that in this garden up here because those are buplurum plugs, extras. I sprinkle them throughout. I use those a lot in my bouquets. It's a very good filler. It'll last a very long time. You can use it fresh. You can dry it. I mean, it is really a workhorse. So the heuchera or corabelles are done flowering. They got pretty big this year. I think this is the second year they've been in. Lots of barberries back there. There's 4 actually of varying shades of green. I like them because they're low maintenance. And let's see. I dug out the Shasta daisies that were there. They were like 6 feet tall. I had to corral them, and it was just, they were taking over. I had to get rid of them. And they were shading out this beautiful hydrangea. This is an oak leaf hydrangea. And I cannot tell you which variety, but I love it. Look at those panicles. They're huge. Not only are they huge, but I like the way inside you see the little fine, I don't know what that is, fine pollen or whatever. The bees like it. So with the oak leaves, the leaves should turn bright red in the fall, so that'll be some nice color over here. The white echinacea, one seems to be flowering, the other one isn't. There's one there. It's growing though. It's a lot bigger. And this one is flowering, which I really like that. It's very pretty. Those elephant ears have come up. Look at that. I think I planted 2 here, I believe. Yeah, they're nice. I want to see how big they get, but I do have to dig those up. More of the liriope. Why do I have so much of this stuff? There's another clump there. There's another clump over there. And there's another clump back there. I don't know why I planted it. It looks like it's all white, which is good. I can deal with that color a little bit better, probably. There is still a yarrow here. I'm not sure what color that is. It was a baby one that I think I just planted in the spring. So we'll see what color it is and whether I want to keep it or not. Lots of salvia thrown in here too. There's pinks, which the bees have cleaned that off. The purple, they love that too. Even the I've seen hummingbirds at that purple. They really seem to like it too. Another coral bell. This one is much bigger than the other one, even though they were planted at the same time. They're the same variety. There is a couple of hydrangeas hiding in there. This one is forming some buds, and then there's one here. Again, I don't know why I put them that close together, but I may have to move one. This is Crocosmia, and it is starting to flower. The hummingbirds love this stuff. This is like their favorite flower in my garden, I believe, because they're all over it once it actually blooms. So I'm excited and looking forward to that. Let me try to get in here without getting stung by a bee. Or a wasp. There's a lot of bees and wasps around this hyssop anise always, the purple. But I did want to show you this pufferfish hydrangea. It's hidden, unfortunately. But it's hidden, unfortunately, but look at it. It is flowering. Oh my, that is so pretty. This is the pufferfish hydrangea. I think it's a relatively new variety, and I have 2 of them in here somewhere. Is the other one. And it's beautiful. Too bad I can't see it with this Crocosmia. It's just gotten huge. And then over in there, Here's one of the variegated hydrangeas, which I thought had died. They died back down to the ground. I had 2 of them, and now I believe they've both come back, but they're very small, so I'm happy to see them. For Crocosmia, let me see if I can get close to a bud. There's that. It's pretty. It's a pretty vibrant red. Oh, there's buzzing. And the yarrow. The yarrow, yellow yarrow that I cut back, it's looking good. It's a manageable size right now. This Hyacinth anise, I'm letting the bees and everything have it because they love it. But that needs to be cut back. It's falling over. You see the bee there? It's falling over. I don't mind the bumblebees so much. They don't bother you. They just kind of do their thing. They ignore you. But man, those wasps scare me. Which I believe are I'm guessing, I don't really know insects that well, but the tiny ones I believe are wasps, and the big fluffy ones, butterflies. But anyway, I planted some artemisia. I got some little starts from the nursery, 2 of them I believe, or maybe 3. They're doing well in there. They're just kind of hitting right now. All of this Bupleurum will come out, so that'll open up a lot of space. That is an annual. The snapdragons are an annual, so those things will come out. I did trim back these little Oh So Easy rose bushes because they were getting massive too. Again, another thing that was supposed to be like 2 to 3 feet. It was turning into like a 4-foot thing, shrub, and that was too much. So I moved the bird baths too. They're both over here now, and I like them here. They're kind of hidden. I kind of like that, but they still have the water there for the birds. This is a mint julep rose, and I just planted this season, so I really wasn't expecting much. This looks kind of sad, but it does have some buds on it. It was very tiny when I planted it. I have 2 of those. Rosemary is doing well. It's growing. This was pretty small when I planted this as well. I love rosemary. Let's see what else I got going here. This is peony that I thought was dead. Actually, there are 2 of them, along with a weed. Gotta pull out the weeds as you go. Yeah, there are 2 of them up here. So we'll see what they do. I planted those a couple of years ago, and they've never really done much. But they suddenly grew this year. This is the Baptisia. It's been cleaned off. Everything's gone off of this, and now it's just a big green mass. But this was a purplish yellow. No, it was Cherry's Jubilee, so it was more like a pinkish yellow. More salvias in here, different colors, and I'm going to go around the outside over here and get through all this and start at the front. My wrapped trees, I had to wrap these trees. I'm telling you, I think the deer were eating my tree, but now look at all the lush growth that's on it. They were like literally eating all the leaves off of it. I came out here, it had like 10 leaves left on the whole tree. So I had to put a fence around it, and now it seems to be doing well. Okay, I'm going to go down this side, which looks a little rough because I haven't lined it or anything. I really didn't. One, I ran out of bricks, but also if I decide down the road to extend the garden, it will be this way, and I would incorporate these trees into the bed. So I don't want to line it and then have to remove it. There's a lot of mushrooms that just popped up over here overnight because I was here yesterday and they weren't here. I do a walkthrough every day and remove things that shouldn't be here. So it's been wet. I think it did rain a little bit last night, so a lot of mushrooms popping up. More salvia white. These are the ornamental oreganos. This daisy is the perfect size, so I didn't mess with this one. I came out and deadheaded them and cut them back, but I didn't mess with this one because this one is like the perfect size that I would want. I think it's about 3 feet tall, somewhere in there, and not too wide. The oregano looks like it's this one looks like it's wanting to flower, pink. The other one is small, a lot smaller, and I got them at the same time. This is one of the new roses I got. I couldn't tell you the varietal, but it is a peachy. This one is a spent bloom, unfortunately. Used to be deadheaded, but it's a peachy. I like that color. Let's see, over in here I have another hydrangea that is getting budded up. Exciting. There's snapdragons in here. Look how full the snapdragon is. That is beautiful. I don't even know what kind that is, but it's pretty. This is that variegated maple. And then my other maple, which is hidden by all of this other stuff, I hope it's doing okay. I can't even see it. It's hidden by all the other flowers, but it's down in there. And it was growing a lot slower. I just planted this rose bush. This is an Atlas rose by Proven Winners, and it's a peachy color, so it should match that one over there. It's very popular. That's why I got it, because I hear people talk about it all the time. The YouTubers, the garden books and journals that I read, or magazines and journals, they're always talking about this Atlas rose. So I got one, and we'll see how it does. There's another 9 bark in there. Summer Wine 9 bark. That one actually has a nice big sign in front of it. These beautiful, this beautiful Annabelle hydrangea. Oh my God, this thing is so huge. You can't even tell how huge it is, but this is my hand. See, that's how big the head is, and there are several of them all over it. Get out of here before I fall. Another one of the new roses is blooming. This one is a dark pink, nice, vibrant, rich pink. I got the 2 clematises to climb up this trellis. They're starting to grow. They were extremely tiny. I mean, you could barely see them when I planted them. So they are surviving and doing well. I have 2 sweet spire shrubs over here. I think I have a dogwood, so I'm not sure which one this is. These are all recently planted, but it's doing well, so I'm happy. My peach tree with my Irish Spring to deter the deer. Peaches are still doing well, and I did come out and, well, there's peach drop where some of them just drop off because I don't know, that's just what they do. And then I did thin a little bit, so because I want the ones that are here to get as big as possible. So another rose that I just recently planted, and it has buds. It looks like it's going to be a peachy color too. And then let's see, what is this? This one actually has the tag on it. Neon Burst Dogwood. So this is a dogwood, and it is a lighter green. On the picture, it's more of a limey kind of green. One of the daisies that I cut back, that is Bluebeard, I believe. The Bluebeard. I moved the hydrangea that was in Vincebelle Garnetta. This was in the front by the mailbox. It was not doing well. I think it was too much sun and not enough water, so I moved it over here where it's part sun, and it's doing better. It's actually put on some new growth, so I'm happy about that. Another rose here. I gotta speed this up. I'm running out of time. Another one of the new shrubs that I planted, and this one is a Spirea Snow Mound. So that one should have white flowers on it. And there's another shrub that I planted. That might be one of the sweet spires, which is a more shade plant. Another rose. This is a blue chiffon hibiscus. That one's a Proven Winner. I'm not sure if that's the exact name of it, but it has blue flowers. And usually when you film blue, it comes out looking purple on the camera. But this does have, it has both. It's a purple. Oh, it's like an earwig. It has purple and blue on it. This, let's see, I don't know what this is. Another shrub that I recently planted. And then more over here. Maybe these are the sweet spires because they look alike. I'm not sure. No, actually, these are roses. That's a rose because it has thorns on it. And I would assume that was a rose too because it has the same leaves, but it doesn't have any thorns. So I don't know. We'll see. All right, so that's all that's going on over here. This might be the lady's mantle here. I believe this is the lady's mantle. The leaf is soft. Oh my God, it's soft like velvet. Amazing. And there's one there. That is the lady's mantle, because here's the second one, and it actually still has a flower spike on it. So that's lady's mantle, which is more of a shade plant as well. There's a hosta in there. More ladies mantle. There's the third one. I think I had 3. The hellebores are still blooming. Isn't that amazing? Because it's hot. I mean, hot, hot. And these are cool weather. I mean, they're looking sad, but they still have blooms on them. And I am surprised. More hellebore in there. Yeah. And that's all that's going on over here. The fruit trees are, these 4 are all wrapped in chicken wire because of the deer. These, I just put the Irish Spring on that are inside. This is the cherry blossom tree. This is a fruit tree, persimmon. And, oh my gosh, does it finally have some baby fruit on it? Could it be? Or flower buds or something? Good, because that's been there a while. At least 3 years, probably 3 years, and that's the first I've seen of any kind of a bud. There's a second persimmon tree. Usually I plant trees in pairs because they need to cross-pollinate. Butterfly bushes are up here. Yarrow. Apricot and Necticot here, which I keep trimming back. Man, these things grow so fast, and they keep trying to cover up the walkway. Another butterfly bush, more salvia. Rose Creek abelias back there, more salvia. Oh, let's see. Begins the nut trees here. One of them, either the almond or the chestnut. More daisies. Another oak leaf, which has 1 bloom on it. Beautiful. I like that, yeah, oak leaves seem to have these big flowers and then these little, I don't know what you call those, seeds or whatever in there. I don't know what those are, but they seem to have that look. All of the ones that I've had that have bloomed so far, and I like it. And then that clematis is getting up there. I don't know if it'll make it to the top this season, but it did pretty well. From 1 foot, I cut it down to 1 foot in the fall. So another one of the oak leaf hydrangeas here. It doesn't have any blooms on it yet, though. Another butterfly bush. The butterfly bushes I have like different colors, so I have several of them, but each one is a different color. Yeah. And then more yarrow. Over here, this has turned into a mass of plants. I won't go over every one because that'll take a long time, but this is of course the snowball viburnum here on the edge. Another daisy in there. What's it? The snapdragons over here are going out, but they were beautiful. I just love the pinks. There was lots of pinks and burgundies over in there, lots of burgundies. One yellow has popped up. Interesting. It's kind of out of place, but okay. The pink is going out slowly. I really like that pink. This is my weeping redbud tree. I think it's called lavender twist, maybe. I could be wrong. But that was just a little twig, a bare root that I just planted a couple of months ago, and it's grown that much already. For whatever reason, I planted a rose in here. There's a yellow rose. I don't know the name, but it's beautiful. It was an inexpensive one. I probably got it from like Menards or Tractor Supply or something. More of this Larope stuff. I got pink over here and white, it looks like. More of the high Saponis is over in there. Lots of Eupleurum. Lots of the mini pink roses. What else? Lavender. This lavender plant shot up. It's pretty. I can't tell you what kind. It might be sensational. Something like that. Hydrangeas are getting buds. This one is an oak leaf. Gatsby something. It's either Gatsby Star or Gatsby Moon. It has a huge panicle on it. It only has one though. And then my roses, I did hit those. I did hit the roses regularly because I like seeing them bloom. I don't like seeing raggedy looking roses. And I don't want to have anything that's dying over here because roses, from what I have read, are prone to diseases. So I just try to keep the rose area as clean as possible and not too crowded, hopefully. Another one, the oak leaf hydrangeas, that's the Gatsby Star. So the other one is the Gatsby Moon that is blooming. More roses. This is, of course, the Henry Fonda rose. And This is a Pinky Winky hydrangea. I have one on the other end too. This is the Fluffy Arborvitae. There are two of these. There's one on the other end. This is the Julia Child Rose, which I just planted this year, so it's pretty small. And in between my stepping stones, I've planted creeping thyme, and I think that's all I got. I think I got like a multi-pack of it. I believe that's creeping thyme. But I'm trying to get that to fill in between the rocks as a ground cover. I think that'd be so pretty, and it'd help with the weeds. In the front here is all the Lisianthus, which grows extremely slow, but it is growing, most of it. I mean, I've had a number of them I've had to pull out that died, but it's doing okay. The Bupleurum is behind it. I had a lot of plugs because I bought plugs from Farmer Bailey, I think it was, and I don't know how many hundreds between the two flowers. I don't know how many hundreds I have, but it was a lot. So they all went here. So all of this, you see this mass of light yellow green will come out in the fall, and hopefully some of it will reseed. I'm hoping, because I would like not to have to buy any plugs or really plant too much of it. That would be great. Here's a red rose. Oh, beautiful. That one's beautiful. I think this is the one that was blooming profusely. And it's blooming again. There's a rose in here. I believe this is a red one too. One of them is Dolly Parton and one is Mr. Lincoln. But that one doesn't have any blooms. And this one is a pink one. It's very tall. But nice soft pink. And then, oh my gosh, I'm gonna wrap this up. This is going on and on. Yarrow, more yarrow. A lot of this yarrow and the daisies I've moved from other places and just spread it around when I created these extra beds. Hydrangeas, there's two of these, and I think it's a little lime or something like that. And then also the beauty berries, and then I just planted the foxgloves down there in the back, which probably won't bloom until next year. I believe they're biennials. Hopefully those reseed, because I bought those as plants and I'm not trying to buy them again. This one is forming buds. This yellow butterfly bush is huge. I didn't even know butterfly bushes got this tall. And it was doing horribly. I had it on the other side in that big bed, and it was getting way too much water. Butterfly bushes are drought tolerant. They don't like a lot of water, apparently. So I moved it up here where I have no drip, no soaker hoses or anything. And so it is doing fantastic up here. It looks like it seems to really like it, and it even has some flower buds on it, so we should see that soon. All right, I gotta wrap this up because I gotta get to work. It's time to get to work. But that is my garden tour here at the beginning of July, and I've hit the highlights. I mean, some things I didn't point out, but if you've seen the other tour videos, you kind of, you know, if you watched all of them, it pretty much probably covers everything. So yeah, that's it. I'm really pleased with how it's come along. Over again, I just started this whole front yard project really last year. Yeah, this is year 2, and it is so full and so lush and so vibrant and so beautiful that, man, I just love it. Definitely. All right, so I have to get going, but thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.